Good morning. Good morning. I want to welcome all of you to our Bold Thinker series. Coastal restoration. Will we actually know it when we see it? My name is Paul Anninos. I'm a vice president here at Abt, and I'm very excited to kick off this morning's event. We're thrilled you could join us on this beautiful morning here in DC. We have a great program for you today, so welcome to all of you. I'm going to attribute our great attendance today to a game that didn't have extra innings last night. A quick note on social media. We strongly encourage our DC and online audience to engage via Twitter. We have a live Twitter board. I think you saw that in the other room. And you can join us at #RestoringTheCoasts. #RestoringTheCoasts. When we began planning this event months ago, little did we know what was in store for the Caribbean and Gulf. While we all know that it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when, little did anyone expect the record-breaking rainfall of Harvey and the destruction of over 200,000 homes and buildings in Texas. Little did anyone expect the rapid tempo of monster storms slamming the Caribbean, including our own Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Little did we expect the magnitude and the extent of this damage. But hold that thought. I'll come back to this topic in just a moment. With none of these events in our peripheral vision, we set out to plan this Bold Thinkers Series event, as we always do, bringing decades of experience to bear on the most complex analysis, program development, implementation, and evaluation challenges that we face as a society. Today's event is focused on our nation's coastlines, but not just the coastlines as geographic or geologic features. Our coasts are home to over 123 million people, almost 40% of the nation's population. In fact, there's actually no one in this nation that doesn't depend in some way on the integrity and the health of our coasts. We are all connected in that way. Is Abt the only organization out here focused on coastal restoration and protection? Absolutely not. The expertise on this topic is substantial. Just look around you. But we are doing more here today than convening a couple of panels of experts. What we've done today is rooted in over 30 years of experience in this area by framing two questions that are critical to not just understanding coastal management and restoration, but rather to doing it exceptionally well. And we're all here today to make a contribution. We're excited about our panelists, and we're hungry for their insights. They will help us unpack many of the complex questions, challenges, and assumptions that must be addressed if we're to make progress. And we're also excited today that Abt's team of scientists who have dedicated their professional lives to this work are also here. In fact, in your program, you can get a glimpse of them, and if you look around the room, they're lurking everywhere. They're the ones with the red dots on the name badges. The theme of our first panel is the challenge of measuring desired outcomes. What do we actually measure? Are we measuring directly? Are we measuring via proxies? How do we measure over time and space? Dr. Josh Lipton will introduce you to this panel in just a moment. Our second panel, led by Dr. Diana Lane, will shift the conversation from measurement to accomplishment, and more specifically, addressing the question of how would we even know if we've achieved our goals? This question forces us to deal with the complexities of these systems: weather, climate, ecology, economics, community development, health, food, water security. There's no shortage of potentially competing goals. Now, allow me to return to the opening remark about the hurricane and storm events that have been top of mind over the past 2 months. The news stream has been steady, front and center. It's actually imperative that we make the linkage between coastal restoration and our ability to prepare for and respond to severe storm events. We can't have a dialogue about coastal restoration without taking into consideration coastal resilience in a changing world. We must use science-based public policy supported by investment and technology to improve our approach to coastal resilience. And finally, what's particularly challenging and what keeps all of us motivated and engaged is the possibility that we might be able to unlock coastal management solutions by bringing together not only physical and natural scientists, economists, sociologists, and technologists, but by bringing together those people that can actually think across those disciplines. People that go deep and broad. People that can take a systems and an adaptive approach, like the people that have converged right here today in the audience and on stage. And with that, I'd like to thank you again for participating today. We strongly encourage you to participate in the Q&A following each of the panels. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce a special guest, our keynote speaker, Congressman Garrett Graves. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about Congressman Graves, and then you can applaud again. Okay. Congressman Graves represents Louisiana's 6th district, which includes South Central Louisiana, including the capital city of Baton Rouge and surrounding areas, and the western shores of Lake Pontchartrain. He's a Baton Rouge native, a father of 3, and an avid outdoorsman. Congressman Graves has more than 20 years of experience working on energy, infrastructure, fisheries, maritime, and water resources issues. Under his leadership in Congress and in his former role as the chairman of Louisiana's Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, the state of Louisiana has built more flood protection infrastructure and restored more miles of coastline than in any other period of time in the state's history. Congressman Graves serves as a member of the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure, and he serves as the chair of the Subcommittee on Water Resources and Environment. Congressman Graves, it's indeed an honor to have you join us today.